Rightio tubers, this is my third and final attempt at a random live feed. I don't know whether it's OBS playing up or my internet or what, but it is 4:13 a.m. on a Friday morning here in Australia. My name's Peter. I'm a member of the DIY Powerwalls group. Join me for some cell shucking. Of course, this is so random, I haven't set anything up. So I will not be in the chat for the foreseeable future. Rightio, do the autofocus with the Logitech camera. Stop looking at analytics, trying to make yourself feel better about being a YouTuber. Click on live streaming. Like all of my live streams lately, I am going to probably hide this one after I finished it because I tend to lose a lot of subscribers from doing live feeds. Go figure, huh? I think they realize that I'm actually boring and I can't edit videos. What do we got? Pop out chat. There we go. I'll stop looking at myself in the screen. Minimize that down. Close Facebook chat, and we are ready to go. What do we got? We got Aaron, Jovius, Chris, Woody, Brian. Can't even read your name, sorry, dude. Everyone, it's 9 p.m. in Iraq. Hello from Iraq. We've got a couple from Iraq. Hungry. That is what I am. Breakfast is shortly. South Carolina in the UK, Pakistan, UK, Oi 18650 shrink if you need any heat shrink. Go see Keith. USA. Hey, well done, brother. Thank you very much. Waves to you from Oklahoma. I hope they're not a tsunami. Okay, so basically all I am doing is I've got a metric shit ton of work to do, so I've got to watch stuff. I've got a whole heap of laptops to fix. Well, not fix, to like wipe the hard drives and reload them. And I need to do in one day, where am I? And I'm going to be walking around a lot in this live feed. I'm going to be doing stuff. I'm not going to be forever present, but in one day, I processed the rest of that pile of bucket of cells. So in a few hours, I'll run out of cells to test. So I've got to shuck some more cells. May as well do it on camera, entertain you guys and myself at the same time. What do we got? Yay, is it midday over there, Mike? And what the heck are you doing not working? Is it Friday? No, it's Thursday over there in the States. Puerto Rico, upstairs over a vacant lot. I'm from Vietnam. Exactly what temperatures is there? I don't know. Do you want real units or American units? I do have a big thermometer, big ass thermometer somewhere. It's probably so cold that it got fried up. I don't know. I really don't know. Don't ask me questions that I don't actually know the answer to. The thermometer is like a foot long in American words. And I can't see it. We could use the old iPhone. Okay, we've got to go enter and then F10. Password. Probably shouldn't do my password on camera. It says it's 10 degrees in Forest Lake in Brisbane, Australia. There you go. That's exciting times. What is that? Something from Puerto Rico. Welcome. Same old, working, hashtag. How on earth do you get hold of so many cells? I want to try this in the UK, but I'm struggling to find a supply. Okay, I got lucky. There is no other word for it. Granted, I don't look very hard anymore, but all my supplies have dried up. I haven't had a lot of batteries in 6 months. And certainly almost every lot of batteries I've had in the last 18 months, I've had to buy and then resell at a profit to pay my bills. But this lot, I got a heap. However, the drawback to that was I got it from a recycling company. So I sort of traded off a lot of work for some batteries. So these ones are all mine. It didn't actually come out of my pocket. I've just got to do labor. It just means I've got to do about 60 reloads on laptops. Secure erase all the hard drives 1 in every 5 I've got to do data recovery on and see if I can get anything within a reasonable time frame, say 48 hours. And then load up Windows 10 on all of them, put all the drivers on. I've been lucky, the first 18 were almost all exactly the same. Now I've got a bunch of random Dells and Asus laptops. And unfortunately with the Asus, I only have one charger. So I've got to do one at a time. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm doing a bit of horse trading for cells. It's not like I'm flush with cells. It's just I've been lucky and I got a good viewership, and you know, led to a little bit of work, and hopefully it leads to some ongoing work as well, which would be good. Peter, what time is it over there? It is here. It is 2:17. So it is 4:19 a.m. Idle is a really crappy word. I think I'm more of a community member than an idol, unless I was pure gold, and then my wife might like it a little bit more. But anyway, what's your doing? I was going to start doing cells. Hello from Texas, just looking to learn about making power walls. Do's and don'ts. Reasons, size, every ACs. Do's and don'ts. Do's is do it. Don't is don't burn your house down. The community's getting huge, man. You got to look at lots and lots of different members and how they've done things and how they currently do things, and make a really educated decision for yourself as to what direction you're going to take. Probably should have got these out beforehand. We should do the 10-pack challenge, shouldn't we? How many cells can I shuck in one live feed? You'll be shucked to find out. Okay. That should be enough, right? That should be enough cells. Of course, I'm going to do them on my bench again, which means it's going to be a good old mess. Get me a little recycling bin happening for the plastic and the nickel. The nickel's beside it. That was already there from last time. Have I? I got to go in order. Luke Harris. Go to as many PC repair shops as you can and explain why you want them, and go to council skips. Council skips in Australia, there would be no cells in a council strip within Australia because of the laws and stuff. You've got to recycle them, and the public would go crazy. Oh, you know, X company, you're not being ecologically sound or some shit. I would skip the computer scores just because the hit rate is pretty low. That's sort of the next video that I'm doing, is where to get the cells. But basically, I would be hitting up anywhere before a recycler or a computer shop. So schools have been awesome for me. And in fact, all of these cells come from a local school, I believe. But they did come from a recycler. If you can get in sweet with the education department or somebody that works in a local school, every 12 months you'll get a decent score of laptop batteries if they have like a program like we do here for kids to have laptops in schools. I definitely think that's a worthwhile thing. I'm really hungry. I couldn't sleep sitting in bed playing Candy Crush. No! You saw this live here first. Pete loses the plot, throws all of his cells in the bin and moves to Alaska. And that will become evident as soon as I can actually get this pack open. Look at that. That is wrong on so many levels. 17... what are they, 17 650s or something? 17 770s? Anyway, they're the thinner cells. They're not 18650s, and they're not high drained. Well, they're not high capacity. I don't get it. It was exactly the same battery. It felt the same anyway. Maybe the model number was different. Who knows? I never check these things. What do we got? Oh, that confirm or beeping. Oh, you know what happened? And this will be interesting to the DIY Powerwalls community, if I could actually find it. I had another, well, I won't say another Opus, but my oldest Opus, and it's got old written on it. Old, that way. Went up in smoke. Literally, the fan was just blowing a stream of magic smoke out the back of it. So there is another one that has been lost to time. Smaller than 18650 equals bin. Well, recycling bin. That's actually the third one I've got so far out of maybe 200 cells I've shucked. I've got a lot to go. I've got an awful lot to go, and I bet you this is a really slow process. The other ones were orange. Got 2 lots of orange ones. If anybody wants them, you can have them for free. Come and pick them up. I'm not posting them to Nigeria. Thoughts on getting old Tesla modules to try and strip them. I've got 2 Tesla modules down there. That will be hopefully the video today. If I can get enough of these laptops done and I'm not falling asleep in a few hours, that will be the video that I'm doing next. I want to get that done before the end of the weekend. Whether it's a high quality one or not, video I don't know. But I want to set the Tesla pack up. So a community member has lent, they are not mine, 2 Tesla packs. Now I know my address is on here. This box contains some like BMS boards for the for the Tesla modules, and a relay for the hot water system. So I've got to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do unboxing of a box with 3 parts in it, but I'll try and make that look good on camera somehow. But that will be hooked up to the Watchmon Plus. So I'll see how I can make that look. The only drawback is I didn't order more plugs for the Watchmon Plus, so I've got to unplug everything here, which risks a short circuit. So I'm going to have to be very careful when I do that. I might actually do that all on camera just in case I screw it up. At least fire sells better than water on YouTube. If something goes up in flames, somebody will like to pay for that. Do you have to be particularly careful in opening packs? You should always be careful. However, I'm not at all paranoid. I just twist these ones open, and they do crack open quite easily, and they're all exactly the same, which means they've all got the same way they come apart. Also, being in a hurry, I have been known to belt these on the ground, but these cells have got nothing. So they're so thin and so well packed that there's no wasted space around the cells. So if you bash these ones on the ground, you get damaged cells, and of course that's just a waste. And people get a bit antsy when you bash them on the ground and waste good cells, grey cells, Panos, 18650, NCR 18650, Panasonic these are. I think they're Panasonic cells, aren't they? I call them Panos, but I don't know if he makes them. Anyway, that'll be in the cell database. What else have we got? I'm not really paying attention, am I? Give me some good juicy questions that I can just babble on about. Do you have to be careful? I still get supplied with batteries from both, so it's a win for me in the UK. Awesome. Smaller than 850 bin, I think 16,650. I think they start with 17. I'm pretty sure they are. You're doing a great job, and I enjoy seeing your methods and all your hard work to this. Okay. I shall, and I have every intention of keeping up the hard work. Putting in more effort into the forum lately, trying to build that forum up. And the old Facebooks, of course, if you like Facebooks. It's hard for me because I actually like Facebook more than forums. But I see what I can do. Time is limited. Eating cell bin, Nigeria with the solar panels. Yes, that was the reference, Keith. Recycle bin. I still can't find anywhere to recycle them. Battery stores want $8 a pound, and Home Depot will take a few cells at a time. I have hundreds to recycle. My local tip has a lithium bin for the dead cells. I had one recycler that took all my dead cells, but I find just putting them out there in the community, a lot of people, I don't know what they do with them, but there's a lot of people that come and pick up the really dead cells for some reason. I guess if they can't get anything else, they're better than nothing to play with and learn with. And on that note, talking about playing and learning, the 3D printer come back yesterday from someone borrowing it in Brisbane. I think he did some mount prints with it. So the 3D printer is available for borrowing again. The X6 is out on loan. And the community spot welder isn't being used at the moment, if anybody needs the community spot welder. As well as all my crimp tools and whatever else. If you need them, come borrow them. Shake my hand, take a selfie, and bring it back when you're done. Of course, once I start this process and I'm going to have a Skype call with Tom. I've got to talk to Tom about the new cell soldery things. I think I left the link below. I'm not sure if I did actually. To Tom Amarin's store, to the new nickel strip that he's got. The nickel coated steel strip for the cells. I'm going to place a big order for them and try and get them over to Australia. So if anybody wants to join in on that. But once I get that community spot welder will be tied up for a few weeks, I reckon. So if you want it, get in and get it now. I got my eyes on 2 cheap server power supplies for eBay, 2448 for the IDSC. When I get it, just make sure that you don't drop the power. Oh, 24 volts should be good actually. Don't go 12 volt. With my ISDT, my 12 volt power supply, I can only charge it like 6 amps at 1S. Otherwise, the input voltage drops too much and it turns off. But 24 volt will be heaps better, and 40 amps, holy, that should cover it. How far have you gotten with your wind turbine project? Your comment probably has gotten further than I have. Hey, can't even pronounce your name, sorry, 6 knot. Is it worth putting solar on a house? A house is not complete without solar, buddy. Of course it's worth it. Is it cost effective in your particular setup? I don't know. But cost effective is only one metric. If you've got batteries, you also have redundant power, so that has a value as well. However, less so than if you use it every day like I do. The live feed is showing on the PC. Get in, the system works. Damn infernal beeping. Anybody guess what he's doing with these old laptop bikes? An e-bike battery. Any e-bike battery packs of any? No, they're not doing e-bike batteries. These will be hopefully running my shed. They'll be running my shed unless I can find a really cool project for either somebody in the community, like probably one of my friends, as opposed to the community, because I don't want to sell, so to speak. And I have got my eye on one off-grid project, but that hurt. He's down in Tasmania, so I don't think that's going to work too well. I'm only looking at what's on the screen for the chat, so if I miss your comment, feel free to put it in again. I'm just going to let it roll down. Greetings from the other side of the world. Welcome, Tim. He's trying to make a 200p pack with them. Oh, Luke, you're good. You remembered the last live feed. Scummy in noise. Go to bed. That's a really good idea, considering it is now 4:30 a.m. However, it is not very productive. Okay, this one's different. This one's not shiny. I wonder if this one's got the... Yeah, I bet you this one's got the smaller cells in it. Oh, another one. They are different. They've got a different texture. There you go. Now we have 4 laptop battery packs with the 17 whatever cells. So whoever gets here first after 9 o'clock this morning can have some free cells. They will go to the recycle bin. I'm not even going to process them because there's no use. They don't fit in the holders. Community 3D printer. Yeah, I don't use it. Somebody may as well. Battery hookup ton. Not a fan of nickel coated. Yeah, not a fan of nickel coated. Sounds like you're in the e-bike community. Certainly for what we're doing, for the bigger builds, lower amp draw, they're going to be fine. Not going to be an issue whatsoever. Andy is doing another version, I believe, as well. I will be hanging out for the new version. I'm not getting the current version, I don't think. It'll be interesting to see how I can make it look and work. Just got to find something to house the batteries in, because I want to put it in a metal container, a metal like housing or something. I really need new gloves. That, or not doing this for a few years, busting up your hands. Why you stack them like that? Isn't a short will come? I've been doing this longer than you have had pants on your hips, and I haven't yet. That's not to say I couldn't have a problem. It's not... Oh, Jesus, here I go, having to say the right thing. Look, I have never had a problem. And yes, you could get a short. But every one of these cells so far have been about 2 volts when I pull them out. So they're probably only 20% of their original capacity. If that is even a consideration at all, not to do it properly. Chris Chester, hey buddy, how's it hanging? Down and to the left, brother. A long way down to the left. How did you sort out your hot water? I haven't sorted out the hot water yet. The plan is I've got to do the Tesla battery video so I can get that back to the owner. But the what do you call it? The relay, the shunt trippy thing is in that box. Well, it better be in that box, otherwise I'm going to be pissed off after a month of waiting for it. So hopefully I'll go out there this weekend and try and work out how to do it. That's going to be a little bit less edited video because I really don't know how to do it and my time is limited out there. So it'll be sort of a typical Pete, did I fuck this up type video. Suck it and see, I guess you'd say. Got to see a second live feed. I did 2 the other day, but I hit it as soon as I completed it. I made it private. So, but I think they're all in a playlist, so you can still see them if you watch the playlist. If you're keen on this sort of boredom. I really have to do a video with these, but I don't mind having a few extras not in the video. Hello from interstate in the state of Ohio. Welcome just over the life. Oh, just the other life. $17 each for power supplies. Peak bloody bargain. I got to mod them. That's easy as. Oh, that's awesome. £17. What's that in Aussie dollars? 30 bucks? 40 bucks? That's not bad for a 24 volt inverter, I think. Charge controller? Oh, power supply. I want to make someone who is partially disabled an e-trike but don't have access to a lot of cells. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what part of the world you're in. I could probably help you out with that. You have to be very local. I'm not, as you know, if you know me, I don't really post at all. I should be posting. Actually, someone messaged me the other day from Perth. I wanted the K-Weld holder. I found the holder, but I lost his contact details. Because I got so many chats, so many messages from Facebook. Like he's got, I don't understand why Facebook can't coagulate all of the messages that come to myself, HV Powerwall, my business page or whatever, into one account. Why they feel the need to spread it out over several different locations on Facebook is beyond me. I guess they have a reason for it, but I'm not sure what that reason is, or whether it works on any sort of personal level. Probably works for their end. I want an electric car. That's what we want to see. Cheap version with a forklift motor. Yeah, I'd like to do that, but it's cheaper just to buy a Leaf, right? It's less effort just to buy a Leaf. I'll be able to charge my Lidocala 24 volts packs with the 30 amps on full power. I reckon you probably will be. 6 knots. Is your system grid tied? Yes, I have. Well, that's a two-part answer. Yes, I have a grid tied system. It's 6,000 watts of panels on an SMA TL5000 inverter, but that is not in any way connected to my Powerwall. And in fact, it is. I have never done anything to that system other than wash the solar panels. That is a full grid tied system that I don't touch. But then I've got another. I keep working 6.5 kilowatt hours of panels off grid, or 7 kilowatt hours of panels off grid. I don't know, but I'm looking to increase that. I want to take that up to 10 kilowatt hours off grid, so I don't have any problems charging, and I can balance every day and keep my battery pack healthy. I guess. So I'm having trouble charging it properly. I just don't have the solar, and we use an awful lot of power. We use a terrifying amount of power. I didn't realise it until a few weeks ago when we had one day where the battery was flat and it was raining and stuff, and I was working, and the wife, made dinner, and it was cold, so a heater or two was on, and we used 60 kilowatt hours in one day. We use 50 from the grid, plus a little bit from the batteries, a very little bit from the batteries, and a little bit from the solar panels, just from when the clouds, because you still make power when the clouds go over, right? South Oz, Scummy and Oz, 4 AM here in South Oz. Yeah, it's a bit cold. Try to find an old EV or something, ex-utility maybe. Oh, there's lots of options out there. I think now the Model 3s are coming out in Australia. It's a possibility that all the Nissan Leaf prices will come down and stuff as well, even further. And certainly come down to a price point where they're a little bit more cost effective. Because let's face it, a second-hand Leaf with 100 kilometres of range isn't worth $20,000. Doesn't matter what the seller thinks. It might still be a nice car and aesthetically pleasing, but it's still $10,000 for a battery in Australia. How big are you going to go with all the battery wall? Like, no, I'm not going any bigger, I guess, at this point with my wall. So that's 40 kilowatt hours. I have 40 kilowatt hours, and then I have another 10 kilowatt hours there that are in use, and that's running this little charge discharge station just here. And I will bring Rowan's over later today. Hopefully it sits here, and then I'll be running some of that off the. Well, I'll probably be able to run all of it off because that's 60 amps. So trying to do as much off grid as I possibly can. I also want to try and find an inverter so I can run all the lights and stuff in here. Off grid, I want to run the lights, all the monitors, because I've got quite a few monitors. I've got 3 monitors on this computer and another 2 there I work with every day. Plus all the laptops and whatever else. But the customers' computers and towers I want to run on grid, and then I sort of want to have two circuits in here. So that's down the track a little bit. I'm going to talk and see if I can get a 5 kilowatt inverter from MPP Solar and put it all up in here. But I want to make it look good as well. Please reply how to balance these cells for e-bike. Friend said just connect in parallel and keep it for 12 hours and all the cells will become balanced. Is that true? Yeah, you can just parallel the packs up and they'll all balance. Anything in series, you could just reconfigure, I guess, as well. Anything in parallel, you just join them all up and they'll just balance. You just got to watch there's not too much variance between the cells. I'm not really good with that side of things, or at least the terminology. Rightio, first world problem. Remember that last time I did a live feed and I have the snippy tools in my hand? I would really like to know where I put them right now because they're becoming necessary. I only have 1 pair of snippy tools left. Well, 1 decent pair. And funnily enough, I haven't seen them since my last live feed. I have this horrible ability to lose something a lot more efficiently than I can find it again. So this will slow me down. It's not going to stop me though. Right, we're not going to bother looking for it. They'll show up when I'm not looking for them. So the next thing that I do with the batteries after shucking them out is I simply just pull them apart. And these ones are really easy to pull them apart. And the nickel just comes off. And they're clean. You don't have to do anything. That's just pulling them. Come on, focus. There we go. So that's done. So I'll just pull them apart. Again, I think I just lost a whole heap of no, the battery's not on. There should be nothing flashing. No, that's not really charging or discharging, so there shouldn't be anything flashing. Oh, the shunt's flashing. That's it. There shouldn't be any Batrium stuff flashing. Oh, should there be no? Yes, there's almost always Batrium in the background. And I am not paid to put it there. It is not a sponsored thing having the Batrium in the background. It is something that I enjoy and that I like. And I typically... I typically have that running 24 hours a day anyway. Oh, look, found snippy tools. I usually have one of these screens is always having my Batrium. But as you know, I blew up my other Batrium. And I just got to reconfigure the new one down there and I haven't done that yet. So I need to do some more work with that. To see all the messages in one place, use an app called multiple account app. That sounds like a great idea in theory, but it's another program that I need to keep a track of. And I've got a few with work that I do and whatever else with apps and tracking and dashboards and hence the reason also so many screens. It doesn't work as efficiently as you would think or expect. Aaron E, look up YouTube DIY electric trike using parts from a hoverboard balance board. I get nervous when I'm doing new stuff like anybody else, especially with that e-bike stuff. I don't understand it. And I've done it a few times. I've bought all the parts and then I've hit a road bump, like a roadblock or whatever you call it. And then I simply stop and then sell or give everything away because I'm scared to blow it all up, and or, I just can't get to the next step because I'm worried about the negative that might happen from it. I'm a bit like that building a deck in my backyard at the moment. I was all gung-ho for the first couple of weeks, and I've gone through and dug all the holes and leveled it all up and all the retaining wall and stuff. And then I'm at the stage now where I've got to cement in the posts, and I can't bring myself to do it because it's very final, and I don't know if it's going to last or whether I should cement the posts in or just pound the dirt in around them just in case I've screwed something up later on down the track and I've got to jackhammer the concrete back out again. And that's no different to anything I do. The stuff that I'm confident with, I'm happy to just balls and all and hit it hard like this sort of stuff. But new stuff, I sort of tiptoe around a little bit. Greetings from Germany. If we've got anybody new in the room, put up where you're from. I feel like I say this on every live stream I catch, but there's over 50 people watching and only a lot. How can there be 50 people watching me do cells and effectively talk to myself or about myself? It seems a little bit self-righteous. Snippy went lost. People will watch this stuff, but doesn't necessarily mean they like it. Fair call. Fair call. What else we got? Why don't you run all your monitors off a discharge circuit so they're not wasting energy as heat? That is simply from a I can't be bothered standpoint. This is work. Much like a hooker, I have to earn money. And messing around with discharges or whatever else running monitors is not an option. I have to be able to be efficient and cost effective while I'm working in a day. I mean, just yesterday I did over 20 laptops in one day, 20 jobs, and that's hard work for one person in a 14-hour day. Stressful, but I got it done, and I've only got 18 or 20 backlog now, so I should get most of those finished today. I hope. I see how I go. At Brett, they've tried but not releasing ideas. They're willing to sell but not sharing. Can you please tell me how to make a balance of cells from a balance pack? Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about there. Sorry, buddy. Maybe I missed something. Yes, I remember I bought 2 of them. Aaron E. What are you talking about, Aaron? Are they the Nissan Leafs? I didn't take them, I swear. I know you're not Skippy. The red handle by the printer in the back. The red handle printer in the back. The printer's there. Is that the red handle you're talking about? That's soldering iron. So I can finish that battery so I can take it back out to that lead to lithium job. Still haven't done that yet. Priorities, right? It's like sleep should be a priority, or breakfast more importantly. 5 a.m. I wonder if I should go for a walk to the local bakery and see if I can find a nice hot pie. Yeah, they're never hot at 5 a.m. Hot on the outside, freezing cold in the middle. Good for salmonella. At least you know they weren't there from last night. At least you hope they weren't there from last night. What do we got? They're blue handles. Yes, blue handle sniffies. Hi there, Wilson from Kenya. Good night, bro. Welcome, sir. Or goodbye, sir. I'm not sure whether you're coming or going. Oh, no. Oh, fully sick, bro. That's not good. Can you see? It's got rust or electrolyte or something. There goes an NCR 18650. I don't know if you can see that, but given that they are in a pair, I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are faulty. So they can both go to the recycle bin. The bus bars on your pack, what size are they? They are 6mm electrical cable, Australian electrical cable, twisted. I don't know what gauge that actually is. I've never really looked at the gauge of the wire. I think we have a different, like, we have millimeters here in Australia, and over in the US land they have, is it AWG? 18650 shrink. Oh boy, delivery from January. More K-Weld on the way. Drop a link, Keith. That is why you're a bloody moderator on everything I do, so you can advertise. Will you lower the cam a bit? Do you want to see my junk? There you go. Then you can't see my head. That was what I was more concerned with. Or you can see the shit all over the ground. Look, battery hasher. Battery hasher. Not doing much hashing. I figured the batteries were better used processing cells than earning $1 a day. Or 50 cents a day per card or something. Which is ridiculous for 150 watts per card. Yet I still do it. Go figure. Denmark newbie, welcome Thomas. First live stream, but it's been subbed for a while. Brett, thank you very much for tuning in. What part of the planet do you hail from? Hello from Mexico, Central Illinois, USA. Hello from Mexico. At least yours are interesting, unlike other certain people live chats. I always try and be me. I haven't got the skills or the editing quality of others, I guess you'd say. I want to get one of those Stream Decks. The Stream Decks has got like a button that you press and you can change views, so I can have several cameras and stuff like that set up. I would like to do that. I'd also like to try and do like 30 live feeds in 30 days. But my internet is so shit in the last 6 months that is not practical. Would you watch that? There's a question. Would you watch 30 live feeds in 30 days? And every day that I do a live feed, I could show you my statistics and stuff within YouTube, my income, like my income to date, and how much extra I earn from doing live feeds every day, and see if there's an upward trend in my YouTube channel from doing that. I mean, what I do, is it 10 live feeds in 10 days I did last time? And I saw quite a significant increase in both income and subscribers and how much I was getting shared. So I wonder if I did 30 live feeds in 30 days, would there be a value to that? Of course, I have to be available for 30 days. Maybe I could just do it and not really advertise it and just use guys that chill out and have a chat with me. We'll know what's going on. I guess that defeats the purpose though, because you've got to get it out there. I did watch a live feed the other day where someone did a 48-hour live feed or something, but had his, you can set it up so when you get a payment, what do you call it, from YouTube, the gifty thing within the YouTube setup, super chat, and he had like foghorn. So if you donated $1, it turned on a foghorn to wake him up, or a a train horn, or just a normal horn, depending on how much money you actually paid. It just blasted music or whatever. So they'd all wait until he went to sleep and then blast this horn again. I tried watching the whole live feed, and I reckon he made $5,000 in one 24-hour period with everyone waking him up. It's kind of genius. But he had tens of thousands of people watching him sleep. I guess just waiting for somebody else to spend money and wake the poor bastard up. I thought it was a good business plan, though. I don't think you could replicate it too many times without your mum, because I think he was living at home. I don't think his mum would have been too happy. What's the time? 5 a.m. It's definitely coming near breakfast time. It's a heated cell. Looks like that. It's not rust. I do think it's rust. I think it's rust. Alrighty, it's time for a live dissection of this cell. Do you think it's rust or not? I think it's rust. It's not electrolyte. It'd have to be. Okay, where's me scalpel or razor blade? The razor blade is just as rusty as the cell. Yeah, it's definitely rust. It might have gotten wet at some point. So it's all rusted, but geez, that looks good, doesn't it? Maybe I should get clear cell holders. Keith, you reckon a couple of thousand clears and just clear all those cells? That'd look all right, wouldn't it? Right, where's my multimeter? Probably just beside me snippies. Multimeter, there it is. Right, let's see if it's got any voltage. Oh, that's interesting. Not exactly exciting, riveting stuff here, guys, but it's still got 2.1 volts. So it might be usable. So I might not throw that other cell away. I'll keep that one if that's got still 2.1 volts. It's not self-discharging. Nice to meet you, sir. All 4 a.m. Kumar, where are you from? If a live feed is interesting, then it is. Yes, India. It's hard to do an interesting live feed because we're such a small community. Well, comparatively small community. So keeping it interesting is difficult unless you guys keep cranking the really awkward questions out, and I've got to be forced to answer them to keep the live feed rolling along. If live feed is India, okay, I'm Indian. Well, consume whatever content you put out. Probably YouTube viewers are swarm, all hungry for content. And content differs, I guess. It depends what you want from something. I really, really wanted to try and do an open day of some description. I talked about this in the last live feed, and I talked to my wife about it, and she said she was keen. But I don't know how to play it, so to speak. Again, I work here. I can't just put out all of my work so I can do, like, have people here and we can have a chat, or, you know, maybe we could do a massive live feed where we're just, maybe I could have a few drinks and entertain people. I don't know. I would like to do something like that. I'll see how it happens. Jaron will be up in Brisbane in a few days' time, so maybe I could do a live feed with Jaron. I don't know. He probably doesn't have time. He won't be here for very long. He's just up in Brisbane, so he's stopping by. It's either that or I'm going to go and find him for coffee and a go-kart session somewhere. On your 14S ADP packs, what kind of, sorry, I'm not being very good with the old chat keeping up today. View deleted messages. What kind of fuses do you have on your 14S pack? So the fuses themselves are just like 28 AWG wire, and this is pointless because you can't really see it. So it's just really thin wire that I found to work for me. We have this conversation all the time on Facebook. Even if I suggest the type of wire that I use, you have to test it. You have to, when you get it in stock, you have to go through and do all the tests and see how much it fuses at, like it breaks at. One of the ways that I think and again, I'm no expert, I'm just Pete sitting behind his computer. One of the ways I think to test it would be to dead short a length of wire. So if you got a cell that was at 4.2 volts or something similar to what you use, if you just simply dead short your cell, and if a really long piece of wire just sort of gets red and then within a few seconds blows, that will be enough for you to fuse an individual cell. The theory behind that in my head is, if you've got a, say, maybe 10 centimeter long piece of wire by the time you're all said and done, and you short it out, there's a lot of heat that disperses in that wire, so it's gonna burn through a lot slower than if it was a half a centimeter piece of wire. It heats up really fast and it'll blow faster. So I don't know if that's the proper way to do it, but it certainly does sound like a really easy way of testing whether your fuse wire will be, able to fuse what you need it to fuse. Hi from fans, look at you. Mike, welcome. Don't put your email addresses up here, guys. It'll just get deleted by the moderators. There's a guy who does internet controllable robots and people just go and wreck his house. There's a guy that does internet controllable robots and people go and wreck his house. Yeah, well, that's one of the things too, because I wouldn't be letting anybody inside my home because that's my sanctuary, so to speak. So there would be no toilets, which would make it difficult. Yeah, there's lots of considerations, I guess. Maybe I just need to get a group of people that I trust. There's a heap of people in this community that have grown to be trusted friends. And I could have all them here and sort of scatter them around doing security, I guess you would say. Because let's face it, there is at no point where I would risk my family or, my business for that type of setup. So it'd have to be well planned. Plenty of shrink available. My DHL appointment tomorrow, hoping to get better shipping rates for EU and AU. That would be freaking awesome, because killer postage is shit, and I'm going to probably need more cell holders, Keith. Probably need more cell holders. That's one thing I've got to audit today. I've got a box full of them, but just through little projects and breakages and whatever else, I think I don't have as many as I thought I had initially. So I'm getting through these cells all right. I've almost got a whole bucket again. That'll be a day or two's worth of cells. Usually when I'm cranking through cells, I spend 1 hour every morning shucking cells and setting up for the day. And the rest of the day is just changing out cells and keeping everything organized. So, what have we got? Wouldn't trust it. Bin it, you reckon? You bin that cell. I've got it off to the side. Should just run some, put it in the Opus or something and just discharge it for a while and see what it comes up with. Anything at all with any type of physical abnormality, I reject. Like a dent in the side, discolored terminals, rust, things like that, are usually instant. No, we're not doing that. Where have you got all the batteries? I've got them in locked sheds outside my house. You love working too. I wish I were like you. I like providing for my family more than working. I get a certain sense of achievement when I can provide for my family and, you know, have a little bit left over for my life, I guess you'd say. I am certainly never going to be rich doing what I'm doing because I have too many ethics to overcharge people or do what some computer technicians do. And they just blindly charge and charge and charge. I wouldn't just... I have all the batteries. Just start some drama and then it'll be interesting. I don't want to start drama. I have no interest in drama. I literally laugh at drama. Drama is entertaining to me. I just don't want any part of it. I'd just rather say, would you like a hug, and then walk away. Where are you going to start? Is Jehu still pissed at you? I don't think he's still pissed at me. He certainly doesn't talk to me much anymore. I guess we would contact each other if we had a problem within the community that needed dealing with, i.e. like a really bad troll or something that affected us both. I would reach out to him instantly. I don't know if he'd return that favour, but I'd certainly reach out to him. Whether he replied or not, I don't know. I think Jehu has a lot ahead of him, and I refuse to start any drama. He's still a good guy. He's still a great editor. He's still good at what he does. So, yeah, no drama there. Hello from France, my dear. That sounds very odd, but Tarisha, I can't even pronounce your name. And to all those people that I can't pronounce your name properly, I apologise profusely. I look at the name and I think I should try and pronounce it, and then I think to myself, there's no way in hell I can pronounce that. Not without royally screwing it up. This has been a very productive live feed, gentlemen. I say gentlemen because 99.98% of all of my viewers come from the male gender. Well, so says YouTube and Facebook anyway. Jehu is probably more pissed at me than Pete. Nah, who cares? Jehu, Mike, Keith, would you... Okay, can we move on from that? Do you recycle those metal pieces you're taking off? No, I don't. I put them in the recycle area at the recycle centre. I don't know what they do with them. I wouldn't class that as me recycling them. I certainly don't get the PCBs off the nickel strip. Somebody has said there's rare metals and stuff in there. You should try and sell them, but I think, yeah, that's good in a perfect world, but I don't think I would have the patience after spending this long shucking cells to actually also process the nickel and stuff out of it. Certainly not for the current pricing anyway. If it was pure nickel and it was all pure nickel, maybe it'd have a value after you'd finished 10,000 cells. But is it cost effective? I highly doubt it. Do you recycle metals in packs? $10 cover. What are we doing? $10 cover charge barbecue night at the local pub with the EEV blog. Okay, is that? I've never seen that. I would like to meet that guy too. I think he could teach me a lot. Holy heck, I'm just a little bit behind. It's going to be an 2,000 kilometre drive. If 18650 cylinder type cells were viable for you to use source anymore, would you fall back on? What would you be your fallback type? Nissan Leaf batteries or something similar. Car batteries for sure. I was helping these members in his group when Jehu wouldn't respond to questions. Oh, okay. Whether I settle whether I will settle somewhere and start my solar product. I would love to do a live stream with you. Sure, let's do something. I want to try and always be accessible to everybody for any reason, as long as it was practical and cost effective. You know what I mean? I want to always try and be Pete at any cost, even if that means at the cost of subscribers and stuff like that. Talking about subscribers, I passed a milestone the other day and not a single person rung me up and wished me happy birthday. So thank you very much for that, community. I was going to do a big video, but I thought, nah, can't be bothered. It's only a number. Corey's in the house. Guess who? Keith, you're causing drama by being helpful. Malicious complaint right there. Woohoo, 50-minute live feed so far, and that's all HBO Ball's done. She's slacker. You've got to admit, I'm not really putting a great deal of effort into shucking faster. I am trying to pay attention to my loyal crowd out here that can't be bothered smashing that like button. What type of business do you do for work? PC repair. Yes, Jeff, I just fix mum and dad's computers. I don't do very many businesses anymore. I do lots of daycares and I call it mum and dad repairs. It's almost the easy stuff, but back in the day it was a lot harder. Well, no, back in the day it was a lot easier because you got all the repair jobs. These days, you only get repair jobs from, you know, the person with a teenage kid who thought he could fix it and made it 10 times worse, and that's a thing, I promise you. Or the little old lady that's paranoid about being hacked. So there's sort of two extremes. You get the really hard jobs. You don't really get any easy jobs anymore. You know, there used to be lots and lots of virus removals and stuff like that, but these days the virus software has come of age, and it's nowhere near as unreliable as it used to be. I think also the computers are faster and can run the virus software. The bigger virus software is a lot easier than they used to be able to. They were very, very heavy in the past, I guess you would say. So I just do computer repairs all day. That, PlayStations and Xboxes and things like that, doing all the HDMI ports and new USB ports after the kids drop their console while they're carrying their console around is beyond me. Upgrading hard drives. It's just all the easy stuff. I have got a heap of Mac stuff trying to do Lewis Rosman, but I haven't sold any of those repairs yet because I don't want to be one of those people that are on Lewis Rosman's channel that screwed the customers shit up and didn't know what they were doing. So at the moment I'm going through a phase where I'm buying wet laptops, wet Macs and stuff like that and trying to fix them and trying to work out what's wrong. Spending a lot of time watching Lewis's videos, trying to learn, trying to understand it with it better. I'm trying to be a little bit quicker because literally it took me an entire day to fix one laptop the other day. And going by Australian prices, that's like $150 or something for that repair. And that is certainly not cost effective at all. I don't have an hourly rate like a lot of computer repairers have. I just charge 89 bucks. So it's just one fixed fee. It doesn't matter what the job is. It doesn't matter whether it's easy, hard, or impossible. It's 89 bucks per computer, per job. And I only give a 7-day warranty on that $89 job because I can't work endlessly for 89 bucks. If you're charging 400 bucks, you can offer a 12-month warranty or whatever on the labour you did, as long as it was still relevant, and still not lose any money. But at 89 bucks, I guarantee you I'll lose money if it comes back after that. So that answers in a very long roundabout way what I do for work, I guess. Uh, you should dead short a faulty charged cell, a medium cell, close to empty, and record attempts and learn different types of failures. I did that in the beginning, Ellen. I removed my pool from my backyard, so I had a huge hole in my backyard for months. I went through a stage where I was trying to, well, I did film, and I still got all the footage somewhere. In the bottom of my pool area, because there's a big hole, I just set shit on fire. I put oxyacetylene torches on laptop batteries, like just the entire packs. Hooked up solar panels with no charge controller, just charged the batteries until they died, and all those sorts of really fun stuff. And then I chose very early on, made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to share that sort of stuff, because I found a lot of people, and I've caught up with all of my cells. I worked out early on that people still copied it, even though you probably shouldn't. So, and it was bad because my kids had come out there and I just couldn't do it safely. So I stopped. I had a whole series of videos that I was going to do with that sort of stuff, and I just stopped and moved on. Changed focus, changed the way I was going to do it. So, what do we got? Is nod true. There could be through an affiliate. At least you better than. Okay, we're moving on. These guys' names in blue are all suspicious. They're all my moderators. Anybody that's a moderator on Facebook or the forum is a moderator on YouTube as well. Actually, they're all moderators everywhere for everything that I do. So any of my moderators have the same. Any of my moderators can do anything that I do without any fear of deletion or anything. They can use my entire network however they please, and that's one of the benefits to being a moderator. And I haven't changed moderators for a long time because the group of people that I have working with me now are absolutely fucking incredible. Korshan and Daniel look after the forum, probably Corey at the moment more than Daniel, and they just smash it out. It's clean, it's organized, and it's moderated. There's no crap, there's no junk, there's no spam. It's just done. So for that, I am appreciative, and you guys know that. Which packs did you get these 18650s from? They're all, and my eyes are so freaking terrible, I can't read this shit anymore. But these are all coming from, and I might use this special device here called a mobile phone, and see if I can get that in focus. Okay, so they are AL10D56 cells, and it's got Panasonic pin underneath it. You are never going to be able to see that. So it says on the battery, it says AL10D56, and then in brackets after that, it's got 3 INR18/65-2. That might be the configuration, maybe. Lithium-ion battery rating is all in China. It's 10.8 volts, 5,800 milliamp hours, and 63 watt hours. And it's got Panasonic PN:NCR-B663. So that is what's on the label at the back. I can't actually remember what laptops they're from, if I should be honest. Which packs did you get? What do you think about the KWYNTON? I'm not sure what those cells are. Sorry, buddy. What brand of laptop batteries use the best 18650s? These ones are stunning and almost always brilliant cells. But it depends where you are in the world as well, because if you're in the States, obviously you've got access to different cells, more medical packs and stuff over there, it seems. So it's hard to say. We probably wouldn't watch a drama queen either. All the cells are different voltages, amps, capacities, how to make them balance and use them in the battery pack. We just series parallel them all and they do their thing. Cody, take our gold. Maybe he can use it for Project Chicken Coop. Is it chicken? Project Chicken Coop? I don't know. I like Cody. I think he's been through a bit of a rough trot lately. I really wish I could sit down and have a chat to that guy. I reckon you'd get lost pretty quickly. If we connect all the cells in parallel connection that are they in balance, what will the cells in cell voltage or amps or both? Sorry, I don't understand the context of the question. I ordered 400 cells 1850 LG from China and the customs blocked it the first time I have ever had issues. Sucks. Where'd you order from and where were they going to? That really sucks. I hope you got your money back. Greetings from Greece. I could set up a dual live feed eventually. Just finished connecting my tree lights for my solar. Awesome. Happy 30th kid. Thank you very much, Elon. Congrats 50k. You're a bit bloody late. Still working on it. Seriously, I mean, I didn't want to make a big deal out of my 50,000 subscriber thing, but what it felt like was, have you ever had a birthday and everyone forgot, nobody called up and said happy birthday? That's kind of what it felt like. Norton was great for killing the internet, so you couldn't get a virus. Norton sucks. Okay, let me tell you something about Norton's. It hasn't been a good product since 2003. It is... Look, security takes time, right? You can't have a secure house and get in there inside of your house quicker than if you had an insecure house. Unlocking 4 deadbolts takes longer than unlocking one deadbolt. But Norton's does such a good job, and it's not a bad job, it's a good job. It just slows shit down. Nah. Norton's a good product. I would never recommend or use it. But it's at the top of its game for what it does. I can't take that away from that. Happy 50th birthday. Thank you, everybody. Norton's great for killing the internet. Making battery packs with these cells. Yes, I'm making 200p packs. I'm thinking, I was going 48 volt, but Jaron has suggested that I do a 24 volt pack so I can really test the Watchmon 7. So that's a Watchmon 5 and that is a 14S unit. The Watchmon 7 is a 7S unit. I don't get the names, but so that would be a really good test, because obviously the Watchmon 5 and 7 isn't designed for such big packs. So I really want to build a really balanced pack. So all of these cells will be charged, rested. That's a lie. I'm not resting them in between charging and discharging. So I'm charging, discharge testing, and then charging back up to 4.2 volts. And then I'll store them and then test. I want to at some point start doing all the, the resistance testing as well of all of these cells. But I'm going to do it after I've charged all the cells and they've rested, because I think resistance testing every single cell is going to be one hell of a laborious task for 2,500 cells that I'll be using in this test. So I'm going to rest all the cells for a few months, because it's going to take me a few months to complete this project, and then do the testing of the resistance. So I've got a nice even benchmark of voltages and how long they've been lasting and stuff like that. And at the same time I can do voltage. So I might actually make something up so I can just clip it in and do it nice and consistently. I'm not sure how that will work. Well, I've completely lost where I'm up to. I could do a dual light. Okay, there we go. Tree lights for solar. Congrats, 50. Still working on rearranging the entire warehouse around. You're mad. Just leave it and work. Congrats on the 50k. Hello, 50. Norton's killing your internet. Okay, now we've found it. How close to you would Paul Daniels be? Maybe go visit him for a Mac repair. Paul Daniels is only maybe 1,000 kilometres away down in Sydney, I believe. Paul Daniels. I downloaded all of his software. I've got all that sort of stuff. I didn't pay for it yet. I will pay for it if I use it. Commercially, if I use it commercially, I have no problems paying for software. If I'm not using it commercially and I can't, it's not fit for purpose, I won't pay for it. So that's actually a good idea. And $89 for a logic board repair is way too cheap. I agree with that. Logic board repair wouldn't be under the $89 deal. That's just for computer repairs. There's a big difference between doing a data recovery and a computer repair. Computer repair, I would be consistent with replacing components within like replacing a motherboard or a hard drive or something like that. It's not a board level repair. That's a different beast altogether. So the solar gardening and stuff. Good morning, sir. You're busy for a while, and now I'm off to work and to deal tradies. Enjoy, welcome, and see you, buddy. It's been a while since you've been on a live feed. 5:30. I should go inside eventually and have a look and see if my kids are awake. They should be feeding themselves. My 5-year-old, is it 5? No, he's 7 years old. He's never been able to cook toast or anything. We've just started letting him cook his own toast in the morning and pour his own milk because he loves drinking milk by the bucket load. So I probably should go and check on that mess eventually. Oobs. Remember when we went through a stage where I just got 10,000 boob comments? And then I started getting messages from YouTube saying, your content might not be acceptable for all advertisers. We haven't demonetized you, but we will. I think it was like a warning more than anything else. The mods are awesome, so are the members. I'm glad I managed to get back into the forum today after not being there for ages. Awesome, Born. Thank you very much for going over there. And if you've got any hints or suggestions, do let me know. There isn't much of a budget to actually be changing anything on the forum at the moment. I'm hoping that it can just grow organically for a while. We still get... I would have thought the forum would have been a bit bigger by now. The amount of people that complained that we didn't have a forum within the community, and then we got a forum and got it all up and running and whatever else, and they've never even signed up, is kind of amusing. But that was back in the day. That was like 3 years ago. So the forum currently gets 500,000 page views a month. I believe that's a number I can quote. I think it's something like 30,000 unique visitors a month. And earns, I think the forum earns on average about $4 a day from Google, from the ads on there. So it's certainly not something that I can afford to just drop heaps of cash on. And I need to be about 1.5 million page views a day in order to make about $10 a day from the forum. So there's a ways to go yet. Has anybody got the new size Model 3 fake cells from China and built a Powerwall to see how much better it is than 18650s? I think as a community we steer away from fakes. I think we cannot support the fake industry. I mean, if buying a Gucci bag is even, I don't think that's actually a bad thing, because who would pay that much money for a Gucci bag? But anyway, you know what I mean. I don't want to support fakes. What do we got? What do we got? Do they do a good job, but are still suspicious? They're a shady bunch. Dodgy. Not sure if you mentioned it before or not, being late as I usually am. And if it's not to the person, how's the wifey? I recall she was in hospital last week. She is fine. She is doing a lot better. And when I can actually share the photographs now, because if you have a look at the last live feed, my wife shared a photo of how she was, and it wasn't good, guys. It was her private doctor said if she was like, if she wasn't in like a first world country, she would have been in a lot of trouble. So that is my wife's face 2 weeks ago. She actually got a pimple, scratched it or popped it as you do, and it got infected and turned into I think they called it a cyst, and it really, really messed her up pretty bad. So when she went into hospital, where is it? So the first day she was in hospital, that was 24 hours after. See that red dot? I can't even. Yeah, that red dot down the bottom there, next to her lip, is where it all started. And then within 24 hours, she was admitted to the hospital and spent 4 days in hospital eating that rubbish food. She kept taking photographs of the crap food that she was having to eat. And I had to keep taking food up to her. And I did grocery shopping when she wasn't here. She was very happy. I was running out of leftovers. What can I do? I had to feed the kids. Food, hospital food. She did not enjoy it. I think that's all very good. But if anybody saw her yesterday, she's much better now. She's doing much better. Out of hospital, back on it again. But she's had a bit of a rough trot this year. With us fighting with our personal life wasn't helping her either, I don't think. But she's got Ross River fever. She's got lupus, chronic arthritis. And the poor girl's breaking. She's just, it's not much fun, but she can still function as a human being and wipe her own ass. So I guess that's a win. There's plenty of people on this planet that are a lot worse off. So, what you smoking? Nothing. And don't smoke. Don't do drugs. Hardly ever drink. I do drink, but it's so rare. It's like probably, it'd have to be 8 to 10 years ago that I actually last had a drink. Hello from Russell. Best place to order cells from. I'm in Canada. I think Tom Amarin can ship to Canada. Go to his store, type in DIY Powerwalls as a discount code, see what comes up. I don't know if that discount code is still active, but it'll give you a 10% discount. I don't tell many people that because I don't want to try and use discount codes to sell stuff. And I genuinely don't know if it's still active. I know it was active. If Tom was in the room right now, he would probably confirm that, but I don't think he is. He will be off working. Where are we? Hello from Russia. Welcome. Best place to... I got that. China to California. Okay, there you go. Cushion, got to see yesterday's live feed. Shocking. Happy 50k. Thank you very much. We are all 1%ers. Abso-bloody-lutely. I didn't think Norton was still going. Absolutely still. It's still a good product, like I said, but it's just nah. Yes, I know Norton sucks. That's why it was a joke, Pete. How Norton internet security would kill your network. And oh yes, don't even start me on networks. I did a job yesterday. And it was quite a noisy environment, so I was put off a little bit and I wasn't on top of my game. Trying to work out why the bloody network printer wasn't working. They said it did an update and the network printers aren't working. So I went out there, fixed it all up, and it turned out to be a Norton firewall issue. So Norton had done their typical update and blocked all the ports. Yay, Norton. Thank you. You're awesome. You'd think that Norton would go, you're a printer, you're allowed on the network, it doesn't matter what happens. But clearly that doesn't always happen. It was a big commercial printer too. It wasn't a consumer grade printer. Where do we go? We are 1% of Norton sucks. 1%ers good. Andy Lee Robson. Wim, got to go through answers. Sorry, I didn't understand your context. Where are we up to? Sorry. I'm back and forth. Sorting K-Weld kits right now. You should put a link to the K-Weld kits. Or if you are in Australia, you can borrow a K-Weld kit before you buy one, if you would like to test it. The downside is you've got to come and pick it up. I was going to send it to New Zealand, but he never messaged me. I private messaged him on Facebook, and he never messaged me. So I don't know what was going on there. I was going to send it over to New Zealand, so I can't remember who it was. But resistance is futile. OS and had to reformat. I've seen that so many times. It was Pete's fault. The hospital asked if she got punched in the face, and I said only twice. I didn't think it had hurt that much. It was like they grabbed their phone straight away and called security. I was only joking. You know, bomb threat in the airport type stuff. You don't go there anymore, do you? You might think it's funny, but, you know, 12 heavily armed men will grab your man bits and make them fucking cry. Multi-powers. Can I use a battery pack out of a Toyota Prius? Or is it better to make my own battery? It is better to use whatever you have in your artillery, I guess you would say, to make your battery. Don't limit anything that you can have access to. You stop going from landfill or whatever else. If it's a battery pack and it still holds energy and that's all you have, by all means, try and make it work for your situation. This is about second life storage as much as recycling 18650s. Sure, the community started with 18650s, but we've grown so much further behind, outside of that. It's really cold. It's starting. The sun's coming up, so it's starting to get cooler. I think that's how it works, right? That infernal beeping is going off again. Where are we at? SSRs. And I jumped over to Facebook. I really shouldn't do that. I'm back. Do read conversions under broadcast? Do read conversations under broadcast? Yes, I read every conversation, if that's what you're referring to. How about do a battery extender pack for electric car on a trailer and get someone to use it on their electric car? No, because I don't think these cells, one, they're not high drain and I don't have access to high drain cells. And the packs that you would have to build with these would be so horrendously heavy to get that high drain. But I don't think these cells are good for a mobile application. I think the fusing, if they weren't fused, yes, for sure, but the fusing that I currently use would have to be considered not mechanically strong enough. You go over a bump and that fuse would move by 0.1 of a millimeter and it would just vibrate until it broke. And I reckon in a very short amount of time you would start having some very serious problems with unbalanced batteries. How will it make? How will make balance these different capacity cells? You just join them together and they balance up. You parallel 200 of these cells and they balance, and then you use Batrium to balance the series packs. I need to rearrange to get. Okay, that makes sense. That's because you want to do YouTube stuff and start doing live feeds and builds and stuff to promote your business, which is a bloody good thing. If I was in the States, I'd help you out with that in a second. In fact, I think my wife has she's a personal trainer, and I think she's got a opportunity to do a training course in LA for her businessy stuff. If there ever comes a time where I am in the States, I will go from LA to the other side of the world, to New York and Pennsylvania and all that sort of area, so I can hook up with Keith and Mike Nacco and Tom Amarin. And of course, while I'm on the other side of the country, I will reach out to Jehu and see if he'll see if I can go and shake his hand. That would be freaking a dream of mine. That'd be pretty cool. See how that goes. How will I am watching the live chat on my TV using my Powerwall to power the house and the air conditioner here in Iraq. Thanks for your inspiration. Thanks for tuning in and doing it in so much freaking style, brother. Do a calendar with Mighty Car Mods. Do a calendar? Mighty Car Mods, I tried buying one of their cars and got knocked back. I tried buying the electric blue turd. I think enough time has passed that I can say that publicly. I was very disappointed. I tried very hard to buy the electric blue turd off the Mighty Car Mods boys. And it ended up going to the crusher because it had a cracked frame, cracked chassis. So it wasn't something they wanted to sell. It would have been an awesome YouTube project if I could have pulled that off. In fact, I could still buy all the running gear out of it and get another car exactly the same and build it up. That would be kind of cool, but yeah. Peter has done many videos explaining how this all works. I suggest you go back and have a look at them. The beeping is your son making toast. No, the beeping is the charge discharger from Rowan. Can you see it? It is right there. So there is 2, 4, 6, 8 4 digital 4S's. There's an IMAX and a 600 watt power supply and a couple of fans doing the discharging on my couch until such a time as I can actually clear space, and I'll put it up here. So I'm getting about 150 cells done a day. Where are we got? Why are you pulling apart the white ring from the positive side? Safe to you? Because I don't like. I want a consistent height. There's a lot of them that don't have it, so I want a consistent height of the cell when it's in the cell holder, so I get the most positive connection as possible. And yes, that much will make a little bit of a difference. Not much difference, but still, it's there. Also, I want to use Keith's insulator rings on all of the cells, so I want to make it look consistent and be safe. So it's just a matter of, I want to use Keith's thicker rings than these ones, so that's why I'm pulling them all off. I'll actually go through and pull off all the sticky stuff as well off every cell, which takes a considerable amount of time. But you sort of just roll your finger down it, and some of them just roll up, some of them don't. That one doesn't, obviously. And it also gives me something to do. Ouch, looks at sore. How can balance these harvested cell? Okay. The content. Okay. Yeah, she's fine. That's why you need to seriously test your cells before putting them together. Andy, channels, please. Test each one, measure the capabilities. Yes, definitely doing better. What you're smoking, I didn't mean you, Pete. Oh, okay, there we go. There are new cases recently where people have died from their dogs licking a wound or face and contracted bacterial infection that caused sepsis. Bacteria is fine in a dog's mouth, but not in people. That's a fair comment. Pete's channel is the one. There's heaps of side conversations, so I'm going to jump all over them. Did you use LifePo 4 cells for your application, or did you plan to? No, I've never even had a LifePo 4 cell, unfortunately. I've talked with Tom Amarin quite a few times to get some, what do you call it? What do you call it? The headway cells over here in Australia to do a motorbike pack, but I haven't. That has never eventuated probably because of the serious postage costs. But, you know, in time that might happen. We don't know. But I'd love to do something with a different chemistry of battery. That would be fun, and I'd love to learn that curve. At 8650 Shrink, you need to get your presence back over on the chat. Justin is taking over on the electronics chats. I think Keith has got to concentrate on work and family at the moment. Mike and Tom are close to each other. That would be easier for me to make the train drive down there. I'd rather come and see you. If I come over there, Keith, I would make the trip and come and have a look and come and meet your wife and your kids, and you know we can go out for, you know, what do you do over there? What do you call it? The coffee place, whatever you call it. We'll go and do something. Go to the park, because I'll have Kylie with me as well. So, and I know how your wife likes Australian accents. Okay, Pete, chat folks, thank you. And now Mosen shows up. Reported order as 07. We bought a shipping container yet? No, I have not bought a shipping container yet. I have a draft version of the Australian code of practice, and apparently the new code doesn't say you need to have a bunker, where an old version did say you need a bunker. So it's time to reevaluate whether I need a shipping container. I want a shipping container. I would love to do a shipping container build house. Even if it was in my backyard, I'd like to make a tiny house. I would really enjoy that process. I'm down to like a toilet, a shower, a bathroom, main bedroom, living room, kitchen. I could only do a 20-foot container in my house, so it would be a tiny house, but I would love to do that project. If anybody wants to donate a 20-foot container that needs work, I would build that over a couple of year period. I'd love to do that. We could have working bees here doing it. That'd be interesting. Nima, I'm doing my first 18657S pack for a UPS. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I'm doing Jehu style BMS, so I connected 320 amp BMSs in parallel. That's really good that you're actually considering doing a BMS. However, make sure you check, because even 3 amp BMSs, if you I don't know what your P's are. How many P are you doing? Because that is such a small balancing current. Those poor balancers will be working their heart out to do their job, and it is certainly not recommended for any reasonable size build more than 1 or 2 kilowatt hours. Thank you, Tech Tech RU, for your answer. No worries. Gloves, yes, I know, right? We can hit up a restaurant or something. I know this sounds cliche, but you know how all you American bastards come to Australia and you want to see a freaking koala? Well, I want to do all the typically American stuff. Probably shoot a gun, even though I am so completely against guns. I think they're the dumbest thing on the planet. I would still like to just fire off 1 round just to say I have done that in my life. Definitely road trip. You know, road trip on the wrong side of the road. That'd be fun. I would love to sort it out so I could do a Weeby style road trip. I would love to actually drive from, and I could get this wrong, from LA to one side of the country to the other. Like land in LA and do all my stuff there, because that's where Kylie has to do her training course, and it's a 4-day training course in LA. So I'd probably be in a hotel room, bored senseless, and/or I would hope that some of you guys could hook me up with something to do during the day. Like, I'm not a party animal. I don't go out drinking until I can't walk. But certainly, you know, parks, all the typical US sort of touristy sort of stuff. I'd love to have a hand with doing that sort of stuff. It would be a stupid budget trip. So if we could do a trip from one side of the country to the other and hit you guys up for somewhere to stay, and I could just chip in for a little bit of accommodation costs and whatever your out of pockets are, that would be kind of neat. I don't know how that works. It might be cheaper just to jump in a plane, just for the work that I would lose driving, like work here, I would lose. But who knows? We'll see how that goes. We can do we can do axe throwing. Very good. Yes, she did get snacks. Didn't you see my Facebook post? I did a Facebook post with snacks. She got me Tim Tams and M&Ms. I got snacks the other day. The M&Ms are gone because M&Ms don't last me long, but the Tim Tams are still in the fridge. What do we got? What do we got? I got a shipping container. Did you get I got a shipping Scummy in Oz has got a shipping container. I have a plan for a container house shed. Guns, axe throwing, Nemo. Caution, the Jehu boards is fine for learning stuff and how it works. Please don't go down that road for building a power wall. The cost of PCB would be far more than... Yes, absolutely. Any, and it's not just Jehu's, any DIY power wall, like a real power wall, and it's not, 5 kilowatt hours or 2 kilowatt hours, a real wall doesn't scale with those boards. It's good, great for learning, but they're certainly not something that's cost effective for doing bigger. They do make good content though. They're friggin' well done. Well, they look good. So from that, all you need to do is X Lotto to do it. What's X Lotto, dude? 6-day drive across the country safely. That's not so bad, I guess. Can you imagine that it'd be more than that? It'd probably be 10 or 12 days by the time I got across, because every single person would want me to stop in, and I'd have to drive out of my way a lot. So it'd be a big zigzag across the country. But I need to be able to afford to do it. I need to be able to leave work for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, which was the thing that hurts, because being self-employed, as soon as you stop working, I've still got $1,500 in 3 weeks. I've got to, I pay $2,000 a month in home loan repayments. So I've still got to come up with $2,000 plus another $2,000 or $3,000 for flights, plus thousands over there. So it's not something trivial for me to go over and do that, but still love to do it. Clones are not up to specs according to Rev Zero, the original designer. I would also recommend a JL PCB and other PCB boards, not buy ones off eBay or AliExpress. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of JLC, PCB, and a few others with their spam. That company, oh my God, that company should go out of business. They have spammed everyone everywhere, and I'm so sick of seeing it. I get probably 4 or 5 emails a week from different people within that company to do sponsored videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And they have no idea. I message them and I say, please take me off your list. I've done it every single person that messaged me for 2 weeks, and they still message me. I ended up reporting them to Sorbs for spam. I just hate it. Any company that thinks that many emails for the same unprofessionally worded email offering, what they offered me $300 for one company offered me $300 per video or something, and it's like, I got nothing to make a PCB with, and it wouldn't. No, go away. That's what I hate. And Vuzem or whatever, that shit fucking crap, they spam the shit out of me as well, and that's why they're banned across everything that I do within my network. Those bastards can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. If you can't advertise ethically, I have no interest in helping you out advertising your stuff. I live in Indiana, the crossroads of America. You can stay in the guest room if needed. Awesome, there is one. Video log meeting members in the community along the way. I think I'd have to do that. I'd have to turn it into a turn it into an opportunity where I can shake hands and meet people and learn a whole lot of stuff from the community in general. There's a lot of people within the community that don't share their projects. There would be in the hundreds of people that don't share their projects and have shared privately with me. And I'm not even allowed to post a photo of their stuff. And some of it is just next level. You don't even have an idea on what's out there within the DIY Powerwalls community that goes outside of all the big YouTubers. And even the small YouTubers, it's the quality that some, and the lack of quality, don't worry, that's out there as well. But there's some of the stuff out there is absolutely amazing. And if I could talk to these people and if I could just get a selfie with some of their systems, it would be freaking amazing. Cushion doing 7S packages and 3S BMS. I like to put it in sandwich style. Sorry, English speaking only. I don't understand that comment. World's largest frying pan Pete selfie. Casper Christmas, welcome, buddy. Think of two 40-foot sides and a 53-foot in a U shape, and then put more 40-foots on their sides for the house part. You can do a penthouse up top. DIY Tech and Repairs, welcome, Daniel. Just as I was considering going inside and having some breakfast, I've been out here for almost 2 hours. That's a good live feed for me, right? For 1 kVA UPS, I remember that takes 1 kilowatt takes about 50 amp. That sounds like maths to me. I'm just going to run away. Oh geez, I just noticed my feed is like 15 minutes behind. It probably is 15 minutes behind. DIY Tech and Repairs, NEMA 2, that's fine. Definitely do lots of testing and before leaving it alone and do its own thing. Absolutely. Hello from Israel. Daniel, have you got any more videos? You've been very quiet on the old tubes lately, brother. Hi from Israel. Welcome, Alex. Welcome to the live feed, the random live feed. I might do lots. I might do another one tomorrow morning or tomorrow night or tonight. I don't know. I'm going to try and do a heap of live feeds. I think I've decided I'm just going to do as many live feeds as I can in a month and see what happens. I might even share all my YouTube income. That might actually get me even more work, more people. I was thinking earlier about the forum, Pete. Too many not doing anything or not sharing their projects. And I'm absolutely one of them on the forum, bro. I should share all my projects on the forum. I should use my YouTube to link to the forum. But people are lazy. They don't want 2 clicks for anything. They only want 1 click. So it makes it hard for me to do it like that because I know that actually loses me YouTube income. But I definitely got to start posting instead of posting all my stuff in one thread, even though it's got like 500,000 views on that thread or something. I think I should start posting individual and just double up the content, and maybe that might work for a lot of people as well. What am I? Sorry for being late. Configuring some firewalls. They're not Norton firewalls, are they? That'll work. No, level 1. No, you don't do it all on one level. You've got to have multi-levels. You need the stairs. Put an elevator in a 40-footer. Go all the way to the top and have a little viewing platform. Hi Daniel, we're all up at the same time. So many moderators. Real life, I have new video equipment and such. Just need to upgrade the computer to cope with 4K. Absolutely. Oh, 4K kills my computer. The last video I did in most of the footage was in 4K, and it just kills everything. It's so slow. I've got I've got to upgrade my CPU because all my editing software, I think it might be my editing software that I need to upgrade, because it does all of the editing on the CPU, not the GPU. It does the rendering on the GPU, but everything else with the CPU. So when I replay, if I go anything more than 5 times the speed of sped up sections, and obviously I do a lot of sped up sections in my videos, it's unwatchable. You have to render it to watch it, and it slows me down horrifically. This computer is a few years old now, probably I think about 2 years old now. that is not working. So transition, do I have anything there that is horrible on there? No. So I have i7 7700 3.6 gigahertz CPU. I think I need something that's a lot better than that, and probably a better motherboard, and only 16 gig of memory. I had 32 gig in there, but you didn't notice the difference. It wasn't worth it. So I definitely need a better computer for editing, and maybe even hook up two RX 580s together. So I render with two RX 580s rather than just one. But I need a new tower and stuff to do that. One day. Okay, guys, I think I'm almost caught up. So I'll catch up with the chat, and then I'll call it a morning, so to speak, and I'll go in there and catch up with my family. You're now covering the whole world's time zone. Got stuffed legs. Or in that case, single layer will be good. Hi from Finland. Daniel, did you build a Arduino 2D solder tracker at work? Needs bigger servos and building a bigger one with women's now. Ryzen 3900 with 970 Pro M2 drives will do it. Yeah, I reckon a Ryzen will probably be my next thing. I've been an Intel guy for too many years. I've already got an 970 M.2. Is it 970? 950. 960 Evo M.2. But maybe I should raid a couple of those up. I use NEMA 17 status with 3D printed robot. Nice. 4K should have 3 scores and 32 gigagrams in general. 8 cores, yes, absolutely. But I wasn't I was only editing in 2K back then. There's uploading a 6 gig file to YouTube. All of my files, I think all of mine are. I think my average file is 5 gig. The other one I did the other day was 11 gig to YouTube. Is not a bad CPU. I got gig internet. Yes, of course you have. My internet is freaking horrible. i7 8700K and 1080 GPU and hard drives all SSD. I've got my hard drives, current setup for my hard drives are YouTube hard drives. I've got a 4 terabyte hard drive that does the end product for all my YouTube videos, or at least all the modern stuff. I've got 3 2 terabytes and 2 3 terabytes hard drives for storage, and that's just in my main tower. And then this one here, this computer here has 4 terabyte hard drives in it. For redundant backups, and then I've got 2 NAS boxes with 4 2 terabytes in RAID 5 configuration, I think, and that's for my mission critical data, I would call it. 960 is more. Oh, the hard drive speed is freaking awesome. My download speed is terrible. I'm not even going to quote it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will do another live feed either tomorrow morning or tonight to see if I can catch some other members. If you like what I do, please smash that like button. There's a few links down below if you need product. That does help a lot. I get about 7% commission on a lot of those parts. So it would be great. Put it in your favorites or do whatever you do. Now they're showing off. Thank you very much, guys. Breakfast time for me. I'll see you all later. Make sure I hit the stop streaming button.